Hello coders, welcome to Level Up with Coding. Today I will discuss about Leetcode Daily Challenge question compare version numbers 165 number question. So this is the most asked question in Amazon and Microsoft. So the question saying about that given two version numbers version 1 and version 2 compare them. If the version 1 is less than version 2, then return -1, and if the version 1 is greater than version 2, then return 1, otherwise return 0. But in there some conditions. Version number is consist of one or more revisions joined by a dot. Each revision consists of digit and may contain leading zeros. Every revision contains at least one character. Revisions are zero indexed from left to right, with the leftmost revision being revision 0 and next revision being revision 1, and so on. For example, 2.5.33, we are starting from left side. Okay, we are starting from left to right. So in the first example, 2.5.33 and 0.1 are the valid version numbers. To compare version number, compare them revision in left to right order. And revisions are compared using their integer value, ignoring any leading zeros. Okay, like 0.1, so they are the given leading 0, we are ignoring. This means that revisions 1 and 00 are considered equal. If a version number does not specify revision at any index, then treat the revision as 0. For example, 1.0 is less than version 1.1 because the revision 0s are the same. And but their revisions 1 is 0 and 1 respectively, and 0 is less than 1. So in example 1, version 1 is 1.01 and version 2 is 1.001. So output is 0. In second example, version 1 is 1.0 and version 2 is 1.0.0. So output is 0. And in third example, version 1 is 0.1 and version 2 is 1.1. So output is -1. So constants are 1 is less than equals to version 1 dot length and version 2 dot length is less than equals to 500. Okay. And the version 1 and version 2 only constants contain digit and dot. And version 1 and version 2 are valid version numbers. All the given revisions in version 1 and version 2 can be stored in a 32-bit integer. This is most important. Okay. So now we describe about the question.
So the question saying about that compare version number. So in there like 3.6.33, so this is the version number, and 3.6.33 they are the revisions. Okay, and in the question they are also saying about that like 3.6.33 and 3.00.6.33, they are the same numbers, same numbers. Okay, why? Because this is not any value in there, because not consider leading zeros in there. Okay, so and they are also saying about that version 1, if the version 1 is greater than version 2, then just return -1. If the version 1 is less than version 2, then return -1, and otherwise return 0. Okay, so if 2.6.44 a number or a version number is given, and in second time in this is the version 1 and in version 2 given us 2.6 just. Okay, so for that this here we consider it at 0 0. Okay, so 0 0 we are consider. If 2.6.44 are there and in version 2 2.6 are there, in and next in dot there is not any numbers are given, then we are consider it 0 0. Okay, just check with some test cases. In first test case we are checking, just check like 3.6.44 are given in version 1 and in version 2 they are given us 0.001. You easily check here in their version 1 is greater than version 2, so you just return it 1. in second test case 56.3.01 in version 1, and in version 2 they are given us 276.3.58 are given. Just check in version 1 this is 56, then 276, then 3, and then 58. This is 3 and this is 01. So this full number is version number, and in dot all the numbers are the revisions. Okay, like 56 is revision, 3 is revision, and 01 is revisions. Okay, so in there this is 56, and in there this is 276. You can easily check 276 is greater than 56, so this is greater than, so return there -1. And you can check in third test case like 2.55.36 are given and 2.37.36 are given. Just check. Interesting part is in first, so you can check this is revisions, this is revision, this is revisions, this is revision, this is revision, this is revision. Okay, in the version numbers just check with the first one. So 2 is equals to 2. In there 2 is equals to 2, so this is equal, so this equal, and you just return it 0. Not if it's equal, then you continue I plus plus and j plus plus, so that's why we go after the dot. So we are come in 5 and in 3. So if we are come in 55 and in 37, just check 55 is greater than 37. So in there the greater version number is 2.55.36. Okay, so you return 1. So what we learn about the question, we just learn we are traversing both the string, and every time we are finding the revisions until the dot come, and we are checking if n1 is greater than n2, then return 1, n1 is less than n2, then return -1, and otherwise return 0. So just check with given examples. Example 1 are given as 1.01 in version 1 and in version 2 1.001. I saying about that the leading zeros are not valid in there, so the numbers are 1.1 and in there 1.1, so they are same. So what is the output? Otherwise 0 na. n1 is greater than n2, not n1 is less than n2, not otherwise 0, so output is 0. In second example 1.0 version 1 and in version 2 is 1.0.0, so leading zeros are not valid. This is 1, this is 1, same, and output is 0. And in the third example version 1 is 0.1 and version 2 is 1.1, leading zeros are not valid, so this is 1, this is 1.1, so which is the greater? 1.1, because you can check if 1.1 is given and in it just 1 is given or 1 is considered, then we do after dot we just consider it 0. Then which one is greater? Version 2 is greater, then what we return? We return -1. Okay, so how we return -1? So how we do the question or the approach? Just check with easiest algorithm. What the algorithm? Algorithm is just check 10 into number 1 plus version 1 of I minus 0. This is the algorithm. What the algorithm is doing? Just check 25 in version 1 25.01 and in version 2 35.01. Okay, so I so n1 is now 0 and n2 is now 0. Okay, okay, so now I is come in there and j is now come in there. Okay, so just check 10 into n1. What the n1 is? In first time n1 is 0, then plus version 1 of I. So version 1 of I is what? I is coming 2, so 2 minus 0. Okay, so what the output is come? Output is come 2. So now n1 is 2. Okay, and this how n2 is, and this how n2 is come 3. Just 10 into 0 plus first time 3 is come, so 3 minus 0, so output is 3 come. Okay, so now I is plus plus and I is come in 5. I is come when I is come in 5 and n1 is what? 2. Just check 10 into 2 plus version 1 of I is what? Minus 0. So 10 into 2 plus version 1 is what? Version 1 is 5 minus 0. So what it will come? 25. It will come 25 now. And in version 2, 5 is come and into is 3, so it come 35. So you can check this algorithm, we are easily do the numbers are come. So n1 is 25 and n2 is 35, so 35 is greater than 25 and we return it. Okay, so most important algorithm in this question is n1 into 10 plus version 1 of I minus 0 or version 2 of I minus 0, because you can check with 25 and 35.01 and 0.01, we are easily check which one is greater or which one is lesser. Just do it n1 into 10 plus version 1 of I minus 0. Just we are do it. Okay, so now we are discussing about the time complexity and the space complexity. So the time complexity is O of m plus n. Why? Because in the worst case scenario, if it may iterate through the entire length of the board string, this given the time complexity is of m plus n, and the space complexity is of 1, because the additional space used the function remain constant. In there no any auxiliary additional space are used, so that's why of 1 space complexity. Now we are code it, and this is the optimal.
So here come to the code editor and the question is compare version numbers. So first of all, we initialize I equals to 0 and j equals to 0, and in length 1 is equals to version 1 and length 2 is equals to version 2 dot size, and we are also initialize number 1 and number 2. So first of all, loop through both version string. So length 1 is less than of I and length 2 is less than of j. And then first of all, number 1 is we initialize with 0 and number 2 we initialize with 0. Okay, and then extract the number from version 1. So that's why while loop we are doing I is less than length 1 and then version 1 of I is not equals to 0, not equals to dot. Why we are doing for in the code until the dot, so that's why we are doing not equals to dot, and then we are converting the character to integer value, so that's why we are doing the algorithm number 1 is equal to number 1 into 10 plus version I minus 0. In this, like in 25, 2 is written, okay, and then I plus plus and extract the version 2 in same case. Okay, and then compare the extract number. So how we compare? So number 1 is less than number 2, then return minus 1, and number 1 is greater than number 2, then return 1, and move the next segment. So that's why I plus plus j plus plus. Why I plus plus j plus plus? After the dot we are considering, so that's why we change the segment in next after the dot. So that's why we're doing I plus plus and j plus plus. If both version are equal, then return 0. So run the code. So all test case passes, submit. So yeah, 100 bits and this code is submit easily. So I will give my code in the description box. So thank you for watching.